Well, hey everyone, thank you for joining me on my channel, Ink and Whimsy. I'm Laura Daniels and I appreciate you sharing a bit of your day with me. We are going to be doing a quick flip through of my Stories by the Month by Allie Edwards, and I'm going to do the last 6 months and just kind of show you what I've been up to. I've kind of learned how I want to bring this together. I'm not sure if I will continue with it in the new year, but once I started it, I wanted to make sure that I did finish it. I like doing some of my own handwriting on the pages, and I found that the best way to put this together for myself is to, at the end of the month, have a series of photos that I want to make sure I always include in my Stories by the Month. Like for this right here, this is a card Allie always includes. January looks like this, February looks like this. So I always create one photo that has 6 photos in it, and then I just cut and choose the ones I want to and how I want to place them on this card. And I always like to include screenshots from my phone with either fun text messages that have been going back and forth, or if it is, it's called Keepsake. My son and daughter-in-law do it, and they share different questions and stories about my granddaughter, Diana Rose. So I enjoy that. And I started including 8 by 10, 8.5 by 11, whatever size it kind of progresses to with one large photo. And then I found, well, I have to decorate the back of it. This one's kind of, on the heavy side with so much on it. But, it's I call this more of a scrapbook, because it's just all scrappy and I just kind of throw things together, and I usually do this while I'm listening to a favorite podcast or something. So for me, it's more about telling the story than it is it all just coming together and looking perfect together. I like having the month mentioned several times, once on each page. You'll see how I have progressed to that, and I like to have a theme to each page. This is my husband and I celebrating our birthdays, and this is when American Pickers came to Jasper, Georgia, which is kind of cool. And when we all get together as friends, I like to share that. And I do share screenshots that I've taken of something really important that's going on in the news. Now here, this is something I posted on Facebook that I made sure to include. And now we're into April. This is definitely one of my favorite cards. And the 1, 2, 3s. And here I actually had a 3-part story, so it worked out perfect. And this was springtime, all the flowers. And I also went home to Maine that month. So there were so many different groups of stories. This took several pages. And I can't say they all would go together well with the color scheme in the kit. That may be another reason I don't do it. I would rather each month be able to tailor the color scheme to what's going on in my photos. But, it all does work out in the end, because it doesn't look too bad, does it? And Mom and I, when we were together in Maine, we watched a movie, so I did a screenshot of the movie that we watched, which was kind of cool. And these are screenshots from Facebook. And here, instead of doing, how Allie does this month in April, I just did one that was 6 different small photos in it, because I wanted to capture these of me and my niece, Izzy. And I did do a flip up right here with more journaling underneath. And here, I wanted to include the photo plus the words that my son had written about my granddaughter, so I ended up cutting them all in word strips, excuse me. Here I progressed more to the point where I like to have the month in big letters here, and then May looks like it, and I made sure I had the calendar. I like having that on, actually, because it paints a clear picture of what was happening those days of the month. And this was my granddaughter's 5th birthday. Doesn't really match with the red, but it's just more about what are the photos that I want to capture in my Stories by the Month. And this is her graduating to kindergarten, and she was not very happy because Mommy and Daddy had to tell her that she wouldn't have all of her same friends in her next class. So she was kind of sad about that. Here's my daughter when she went to a bachelorette party, and my brother and sister-in-law went on a road trip. So I'm documenting not just me and what's going on in my life. This is what's going on in my family's life. My son-in-law is in the Marine Corps, so he had gone overseas. My brother and his wife went on a road trip. My mom was visiting my sister in Washington, and my son had gone on a cruise. So everybody was somewhere except for me, but I was home and happy and blessed, so things are good. This is a fun story of my daughter-in-law a year later finally finishing our Afghans that we started with my mom a year earlier. So you have a year earlier and a year later. But you know, I can look through this and just relive all the highlighted stories of what happened in my life for the past 6 months. Here is when my cousin Winnie visited Mom. I love that photo of the two of them. Was I there? No, but I loved the photo and I wanted to remember it. And here they were both taking a selfie with their heads peeking out. I love it. Love it, love it. Here I went to the zoo with my granddaughter and my son and daughter-in-law. We had so much fun. I think the birds were the funnest. I loved seeing Diana Rose feeding the birds. They would come right up to you. And you could see how I do an 8x10 photo on either side, on both sides. So here's my mom and my cousin Winnie, and then this one is my granddaughter, and then the rest of the story is with the photos over here. And then I believe on this side, see, this is my mom, so these are photos that have to do with my mom. Here's where she went to the beach and took a photo of her Dunkin' coffee. This was a Facebook, not Facebook. This was a text, so I took a screenshot of both these. So you can see how there's some continuity to what it is I'm trying to put on my pages. So then this is Diana Rose, and this is us at the zoo. And then here is when I went, this is 3 different stories. A bear in our backyard, me taking a walk, and the talk I had with this man, and then me still being visiting my granddaughter. So that was just all over the place. And then here you move on to the next story. My daughter and son-in-law went to Zoe's wedding. So this was something special. But this is the thing, you cannot, I don't think that you can do stories by the month and have all the colors match. It's just not possible because you're covering an entire month. And there we are in July. So I tried to bring out the reds from this photo with the pinks to go with the ship. So it doesn't look too bad. I think it all came together. The bottom line is it is fun looking through this and just reliving the last 6 months. So I hope it inspired you a little bit on how you can put your pages together. It is fun to document our lives because life is just so fleeting. It really does just go by fast. I remember my grandmother saying that to me, that the older you get, the faster time flies. All right, my friends, thank you for watching. And until we meet again in YouTube land, God bless you and have an incredible day. Bye-bye.